Hey kids, what time is it?
Hey, it's Edson with GeekTime TV, and Absolute Batman is here. Issue number 1 just came out, and this is a highly anticipated, highly expected. A lot of hype with this for the last few months, ever since the announcement of this new DC initiative called All In. It's not like a standard reboot, not like a classic reboot that they usually do with all the number ones. All their main titles are going to continue without going back to issue number 1, and most of them are going to have, some of them are going to change creators, but most of them are going to have the same creative team. But now we have a separate universe to play with for them, and like a new sandbox to play in. With this Absolute universe, and the first title of this, Absolute Batman, of course, written by Scott Snyder and drawn by the artist is Nick Dragotta. I wound up getting the Jim Lee variant. Jim Lee variant, which is nice shot there. Great art from Jim Lee, and I was surprised to see that inside of this cover, they also gave me the cover for the typical cover A as well. So I've never seen that when I bought a variant, but it was great that I get both covers. And it was, like I said, it was highly anticipated. This thing actually sold out its first printing before it even came out. It sold out in pre-orders. I believe it was 250,000, which I'm not saying breaks any records or anything, but for maybe the last 10 years or even longer, for a DC Marvel title, that's a lot of sold comic books. They really hit 100,000 anymore. But this sold out the first printing, so it's already out on second printing. And like I said, written by, I think a lot of that has to do with Scott Snyder coming back to Batman. Also, comic book readers are looking for something new that may be better than the mostly crap that they've been getting the last 10 years. And I have to say, I read this first comic. I don't want to give too many spoilers of it. I really want people to go out and get this and read it. But I will give it some tidbits about it. I read it, and I think it lives up to the hypes, at least so far, with issue number 1. Now, the first thing you have to realize is you can't go into this thinking that you're going to get the Bruce Wayne you've known before, the Bruce Wayne from the main universe. This is a very different Bruce Wayne. He's not like a rich, suave playboy, with all the gadgets and resources at his disposal. This Bruce Wayne is like a gritty, down-to-earth, blue-collar, working class, and he obviously has to find ways to get it's a lot harder for him to find the resources that he needs to be Batman. So it's very, very different. I don't want to give out a lot of that because it comes through in the art, which is great. Like I said, Scott Snyder, he's a great writer. We've seen, I think some of his best work is back in 2011 when he did the original Batman with the Court of Owls storyline and the death of the family and so on. And if you haven't, Nick Dragotta, who's the artist here, if you haven't seen Nick Dragotta, if you haven't read any comics with Nick Dragotta, you're missing out. He has kind of like a little bit of an anime style art, which is great for these action scenes that we get a lot out of it. The best recommendation I can give for his art is there's a title called East of West, came out a few years back from Image Comics, written by I believe it was Hickman, and that's great art. I love that title. Not just because of the story, but because of the art was so complimentary. Really, really good art in this. So you're getting a comic book here that's got really good writing and good art. Again, totally different take on Bruce Wayne. Some of the stuff that you get Alfred, which is great. It's a very different Alfred. But I love seeing him in here, having a big kind of role in here. I miss him because they killed him off in the main universe, so I like seeing him. You get some other familiar characters a little bit here and there. And like there's, I'll just give this. It's a really quick scene where Bruce is practicing. He's at the gym. He has a gym. He doesn't have a gym. He doesn't have the money for that. But he's at his gym, which is actually owned by or run by Waylon, who's the Killer Croc, and this character in this universe is actually like holding a crocodile like as a pet or something. So obviously, their version of Croc. There's also references to other people he knows or in his social sphere that are part of Batman's rogues gallery as well, and we don't know who they're going to be in this universe, whether they're going to be more friendly or just eventually turn to villains. But like I said, it's a very different Bruce Wayne. His fighting is, and this is not a warning. I mean, this is what happens when you have to fight criminals. His fighting tends to be a lot more brutal than the mainline Bruce Wayne, like I said, because he has a less sophisticated gadgets to work with. So obviously he has to be. Does a lot more damage in a kind of like a brutal sort of way, but he still has that mentality where it's like he doesn't want to kill, so that is the same. He's also very, very intelligent, which is typical for Bruce Wayne in terms of like the detective skills and figuring things out. So you do get obviously some similarities, but everything else is different. Trying to think if there's anything at all that there's one minor quibble that I might have, but it's not really a big deal right now. You do get a couple panels of Barbara Gordon, and she's race swapped in this, which that alone isn't a huge deal. I'm just a big fan of the Barbara Gordon character, and I really hate this thing about the way comics have been over, I don't know, maybe the last 10 or 20 years, where they hate redheads, I guess. So they're trying to avoid that. So I don't know, that's not a big deal. It's just as an appearance sake. You don't really get a lot into her character. So as long as her character is very interesting and well developed as the issues go by, if she plays a big role in this, then it'll be okay. So it's not that big of a deal. You don't really get a lot in this issue about it. You don't get a lot about a lot of characters except for Bruce Wayne and Alfred. So it's a start here. The only thing I kind of it's a little bit, I'm not worried about it because it's Scott Snyder. I think he'll do okay, but I'm wondering if 10, 12 issues down the road, will I still like this version of Bruce Wayne, because it's it's very different than the Bruce Wayne I'm used to, and he's my favorite character in the superhero world. So am I still going to be into this Bruce Wayne? I think it'll be okay. And Scott Snyder did say that this is going to be an ongoing title for quite a few years, and I hope it does. It's going to be, you're going to have other characters in this Absolute universe. You're going to have Absolute Superman coming out soon, Absolute Wonder Woman. I've heard Absolute Green Lantern and Flash is also coming down the road. So and Snyder was saying that each of these characters are they're gonna build up a foundation in their own title for a while before they kind of interact with each other, which is great. But eventually you do see somewhere down the line where they might create their own version of their Justice League, but not right away. You really want to get to know these characters because they're so very different. But Absolute Batman #1, I'm going to highly recommend it. I really like this start, and I hope it continues being very interesting. And the very last page of this is you get kind of an inkling into another, I won't say who it is, another character in the Batman universe who's going to be coming soon, and who's also very, very different than the one you're expecting. But that's all I'm going to say. Anyways, yes, highly recommended. Absolute Batman #1. Go out, get it if you can. Go out to your local comic shop. I'm sure they ordered a lot of them, because like I said, the first printing sold out. So, but hurry up if you want to get the first printing, because I'm sure they're going to be gone very soon. And let me know in the comments what you think of this version of Batman, Absolute Batman. that's it for me now. And thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.